What is up, 2K crew? Yes, it is me by myself. 2K's had a prior engagement tonight, but no, this is way too big of a game, way too big of a just a momentous occasion not to have a show here, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, we are watching live the Lions game. We're gonna talk about obviously talk about the Chiefs game, and I do apologize. I was trying to figure out where I was getting two feeds from, and I finally found it. So thanks for hanging in there with me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, 2K crew. I've got a fantastic show for y'all today. For those of you that have taken a peek at our TikTok and the YouTube Shorts, as well as the Reels, I want to thank each and every one of you for giving us a little bit of your time each and every day to take a peek at those. And if you haven't found us on TikTok, please look us up. We are very, very close to getting that 1,000 follower mark, so we can go live there as well. How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? And with that being said, thank you for those watching over on YouTube, over on Facebook, and over on Twitter. I was able to get this working on Twitter this week. Last week, the Twitter followers had to go without, and they missed on one hell of a show. If this is your first time stumbling onto the Turbo and 2K show, I am Turbo. 2K's, like I said, is not here this week. He will be back and better than ever next week. But yeah, we are. I've got a lot of cool tweets to go over. As the comment said, I was extremely shocked that MCDC did not go for that and decided to kick a field goal. Yes, by all means, the correct response, the correct protocol would be to kick that field goal, but with MCDC, you never know. And what's even more awesome is to see all of the Lions fans coming out and just having a ball. Absolutely love it. You guys and gals deserve it. You've had such a horrid history here, and it's showing. Let's it is indeed halftime, but let's go over some of the stats here so far. Lions 49ers. Here we go. Jared Goff, 13 of 20 for 145 yards. David Montgomery has 60 rushing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 46. Jameson Williams, 42 for a combined 148 yards. And if I did hear on the broadcast correctly, that is the most rushing yards that this 49ers team has given up at half or even a whole game. So you could honestly tell which is status quo for the Lions. They run a whole lot, and then they play action with Jared Goff, which is what he's known to do, and just maximize on those talents. Which I think is, that's when you have the offensive line, you have these running backs, and you have a speedy receiver in Jameson Williams, and why not get the ball in their hands as much as possible? And yes, I am having a horrible time with the getting the game here, so I'm going to try to do this. Live here. But yeah, it has been such an awesome first half so far. I cannot wait to get back into this. And for those of you that are watching, drop your score predictions. Drop your score predictions, and if you did put a bet on it, what was your bet? How's your bet doing? Like we talked about last week, it was I told you guys and gals right out the gate, +7 was a horrific line, or if you're a bettor, an absolute gift. This was a gift from the gambling gods. +7. As we can see, the Lions are just in full control of this game. We got a comment here. Niners need divine intervention. Yes, indeed. And for those of you that are over on Facebook, I'm going to drop a link here real quick, so that let's see here, new window. Nope, that's not what I wanted. So that I can see your face and see who actually is commenting. So give me 1 second here, 2K crew. Whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. There we go. And bada boom. Here we go. And you get, guys and gals, you only have to click this once. You shouldn't have to click it multiple times. That way, you're just giving my streaming software permission to take a gander at your stuff here. Let's see. Niners need divine intervention. That was Mr. Franklin Plummer. Franklin, I thought for sure that you had clicked that before. And let's see, what was the smack 49ers were talking before the game? Clearly, this pride has pride for a reason. Absolutely. And that was Miss Tara Jenkins. Miss Tara Jenkins over on Facebook. For the Facebook viewers, it is a little bit better of a viewing experience over on YouTube, so I would suggest hopping over there. But if you're here, that's fine. That's fine. And for those of you listening live, thank you. Or listening on the audio side, thank you. You guys and gals are the silent few, or not few. The podcast downloads way outnumber the live viewing experience and the replays. So thank you guys and gals for that. If you aren't a part of that and want to listen to us in your car on the way to work, whatever podcasting platform you consume with, just type Turbo and 2Ks, and it should bring you to our page. Hit follow and give us a 5-star rating. Give us a 5-star rating, 2K crew. I absolutely love it. Well, let's jump into this. Kind of went over some of the news already. Really not. I mean, this is kind of a stream with a purpose, ladies and gentlemen. Stream with a purpose, and just kind of the flow of the show is I'm gonna start off talking about the Chiefs and the Ravens, just because that happened first. And along with that, while we're doing that, obviously we'll be commenting on the Lions-Niners game as it goes on, and we'll once I'm done with my AFC spiel, we'll just focus right on that. So with that being said, I do have some tweets here, but my monitor is really far away, so I'm going to pull them up on my phone because I can't see them, and I want to make sure I'm able to read them. All right, so let's jump into this one here real quick. This is from Joe Pompliano. If you don't follow Joe, he does a lot on the business side, but it has his own little sports spiel here. Patrick Mahomes is building an insane resume. 2-time NFL MVP, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 6 straight NFC or AFC championships, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, $500 million contract, and now at just 28 years old, he'll play in the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years. That is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane. Another one here I want to, because this obviously is going to be a comparison as we move forward. So might as well bring it up right now. This is from Adam Schefter. Through their first seasons as starters, Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. I mean, this is where the comparison is going to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the comparison is going to go. And if you look there on the screen, regular season record, Mahomes 72-22, Tom Brady. This is his first 6 years starting, by the way. 70-24. Nod goes to Mahomes. Playoff record, 14-3 for Mahomes, 12-2 for Brady, 4 AFC titles for Mahomes, 3 for Brady, 2 Super Bowl rings for Mahomes, 3 for Brady, touchdowns to interceptions, 258-69, 167-87, and QBR 103.7 to 84. And you could say that the one thing here, the one thing that obviously the rings is what jumps out at everyone, and Tom was one of the ones that gave Mahomes that L. So if things would have been different, that could have been easy 3-2 swap. But that Tampa Bay team absolutely destroyed that Chiefs team, if you remember correctly. So that was obviously a beatdown. Let's jump over here to this one here. This is from Jim Rome. Obviously, we call him out each and every week. And this is going to be the question moving forward with this game. Couldn't be more impressed today with the Chiefs or less impressed with the Ravens. It's kind of hard to differentiate that. It is very hard to differentiate. I mean, because let's be honest, all season we've been talking about how the Chiefs the Chiefs, especially on offense. Now, defense, this is the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has ever had. We saw today supposedly the two best defenses in the league go head to head, and the Lamar show was supposed to be this, ground and pound running attack, speed for days. Obviously, you sprinkle in some Zay Flowers, sprinkle in some Likely. They did get Mark Andrews back, which was I thought was going to be a huge difference maker, but that it just proved that Chiefs defense was a little bit more ready for that Ravens offense. And the complete flip side, it looked like Andy Reid completely outcoached Coach Harbaugh. That's the part that blew me away. Do I think that Old Red or Big Red is a better head coach than Coach Harbaugh? Yes, I do. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, even prior to this game, if you told me to pick one head coach over the other, I'm going Andy Reid all day. But that's not a slight on John Harbaugh. That's not a slight at all. But if you're giving me a choice between the two, yes, Andy Reid all day. And with all of the, and it's not we're not just based on the facts, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at all of the drop passes by these Kansas City receivers, MVS in particular, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you look at the regular season, that man dropped so many important and critical passes that it's basically just astounding. I mean, absolutely astounding. And it wasn't just him. It was a mix of Kadarius Toney. Obviously, Kadarius didn't play today. Big shout out to you and your new baby. We're seeing players that throughout the regular season kind of had a hard time going at it, and now once that playoff switch is flipped, it's like, okay, everyone has just super sticky hands. There was a couple balls at Kelsey's way today that I'm like, holy shit, how in the world did he catch that? I mean, he was double and triple covered. It seemed at times, and all of a sudden he comes up with it. And I'm trying to get nope, it's not gonna do it. I am having one hell of a time here. I usually have all this stuff prepped and ready to go, but it's just not working out. So I do appreciate your patience here, 2K crew. But all I'm trying to do is dig up the box score here. Here we go. Final box score. Mahomes goes 30 for 39, 241 yards and a touchdown. Lamar goes 20 of 37, 272 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And he also had a completion to himself, which was pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that. And it seems like it would only happen to an athlete like him. So that was pretty dope. Pacheco has 24 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Lamar leads the way with 8 carries for 54 yards for the Ravens. Kelsey, has just a Kelsey-type game. 11 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Totally blew the over-under for his number of receptions, 5.5. I want to say he had that at he did have that before halftime. Zay Flowers, like I said, had 5 catches, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. Should have been 2. A costly fumble that resulted in a touchback. Seems like that play, that fumble into the end zone for a touchdown, has become quite the narrative throughout the playoffs already. And for those of you that are clamoring that we need to adjust that rule, if you adjust it, what do you do? What honestly do you do? I mean, to me, it's kind of cut and dry that would be kind of the rule, which is what it is. So if you guys and gals out there have an opinion on that, or maybe a suggestion, that would be awesome. But one of the coolest things that I got out of this game was just the fiery emotion of Travis Kelce. If you watched any part of that game, you saw him pushing and shoving with everybody. Kyle Van Noy, especially him and Van Noy got into it. It seemed like a couple times, and along with that very costly interception, we also saw just some. And I know there are so many of you out there that are total Chiefs haters just because of the notoriety and the publicity that Taylor Swift is bringing to the team. And I don't want to see Taylor throughout the game. This is total bullshit. I want to watch the game. for those of you that are saying that, you obviously don't know how to have fun, because if you're pissed at seeing her, then you're pissed that you saw Jason shirtless having a ball, which, mind you, he was at the game, but it was kind of, the reins were kind of rolled in here, which was kind of disappointing. But on the other hand, how do you follow up that performance? I mean, that's just insane. So I really don't know what to tell folks that are completely up in arms, that, you know, especially with a lot of those 15-yard penalties that the Ravens were called on. They were all, and I'm not a Chiefs fan. I would like to say I am a Mahomes fan. I am a Kelsey fan, but it's not being totally biased. It's calling it what it is. Calling it what it is, those were penalties. Those were penalties. For the Ravens fans that got mad for when, you know, old boy smacked him right in the face. You can't do that. You can't do that. So it just blows my mind that that some of the roughing the passer calls, and then that complete dude goes right through the right guard, and of course those are going to be penalties. I watched the entire game and really didn't see an egregious penalty at all. So let's catch up on some of these some of the comments here. Mr. Bradley Newell says, "Let's freaking," what does it say? "Get freaking loud. We're doing a backdrop on you. Let's go." Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Andrew, one of the OG 2K crew. Ayo, I was gonna message you. I think the picture my wife sent me may be incorrect. I have no idea what that means. Andy, I could make a joke about your wife, but I don't know her, and I really want you to be my friend still, so let's keep it rolling that way. Brad says, Kelsey's the best tight end in the league, period. Oh, hands down. And for those of you that are Travis Kelce haters because you think he's trying to be Gronk, no. Two very different games, two very different players, and the only thing that connects them is that they are both tight ends. They're both big and white, and they both like to have fun. That's about it. That is about it. As talented as Gronk is, he's more of a physical runner, whereas Kelce is more, as big and goofy as he is, he's more of a technician. Just my opinion. Somebody says, LOL, got you. Oh, my bad. My bad, homie. Yep, you're right. Quick check on the score here. Lions leading 24-7. Holy shit! Quite the Brock Purdy had quite the Patrick Mahomes pass there. But I do have a couple more. Let's see here. Since we did bring up Taylor, this is from Bill Spirios over on Twitter. Yes, Taylor Swift can easily make Super Bowl 58. TS has a concert in Tokyo on Saturday, February 10th at 6 p.m. local time. Tokyo to Las Vegas, 12 hours. Tokyo is 16 hours ahead of Las Vegas. Swift leaves Tokyo noon Sunday 2-1, arrives in Vegas 8 a.m. Sunday 2-1. Super Bowl kickoff 3:28 Vegas time. Next concert 2:16. The hype will be historic. Yes, absolutely. The hype will be historic, and rightfully so. Again, getting back to Travis Kelce and kind of we all kind of had the thought, let's just pump the brakes here. It entered every single football fan's mind. We saw the kind of late season slump that Travis got on, and we're like, okay, this has to be just the exhaustion, the constant poking and prodding and constant pictures and just the whole paparazzi type thing around him and Taylor's relationship. And it finally got to him. And rightfully so. It very well could have. But here's the thing. I guess you could call it like the Michael Jordan thing, where when it comes down to it, they flip that switch, and next thing you know, it's go time. It is go time, and that for me, that's always a scary thing, scary thing, just because. Oh, is that Debo? Nope. Just because it leaves you a very slim margin of error. And maybe, hand up, I'm not a world-class athlete, never have been, but I have been an athlete. I would much prefer to go in, drop dick, and dominate the whole entire season instead of playing around and just hoping that I could, flip that switch when need be. But like I said, maybe that's a total world-class athlete type of view, but that to me personally, maybe because I haven't done it, I would much rather dominate from start to finish, hands down, start to finish. That, like I said, maybe that's just my mentality. But when you do it like that, you leave yourself with a lot more room for error. You leave yourself with more kind of breathing room if you do have an off game, and which throughout the season are going to happen, hands down. So yeah, it's just a matter of, man, I would much rather just dominate. Just dominate. Okay. Andrew says, now let's see the Lions beat the Chiefs and get that first ring. Absolutely. Like I said, weeks and weeks ago, maybe even months ago now, I've relinquished my Bears fandom. I'm officially on the Lions, have been for, at least 5 or 6 weeks now. And it is absolutely phenomenal what they have going on. And what's even more awesome is the fans and Jared Goff, and just how that he seems to fit perfect. The narrative that brought Jared Goff to the Lions is a total Lions thing, is a total Detroit thing. Let's not just narrow it down to the Lions. Is a total Detroit thing. And I, for one, absolutely love it. We're seeing Jared Goff being just, chanted at hockey games, chanted at, college hockey games. I mean, what Dan Campbell, the Fords, and his staff and the team have brought back to that city is a blue collar mentality. We all, myself included, made fun of this man for the whole biting the kneecaps and just, kind of him looking like a dumb dipshit. But in all honesty, does he look like a dumb dipshit? Yeah, he looks like he could still play to this day. And I think that's one of the things that makes him more intriguing to me than, say, like a Matt LaFleur or someone from his tree that are McDaniel's down in Miami. Those are the type of guys, the brainiacs that you really, let's be honest, you put any one of those in a ring with Dan Campbell, he's going to destroy him. Mike Vrabel's the same way. It just gives them and this is totally my opinion, it gives them more a level of accountability that those guys do not have. Now, are those guys earning it? Absolutely. What LaFleur has done, like we talked about last week, probably his best coaching job to date. And I don't see that slowing down. I don't see this Lions team slowing down at all. If they, for whatever reason, happen to lose this game, so be it. They are going to be right back with a chance to do this yet again next year. Yes, do I want them to win? 125%. 125%. And just the vibe around Detroit. What would that mean for Detroit? And I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I see by the viewer count here, I've kind of lost some of y'all with the Taylor Swift talk, but that's okay. I honestly expected it. 49ers kick a field goal. Lions are up 24-10. Just got the kickoff, starting from the 25. And what I would really like to see is this right here. Let's get Laporta moving. Let's get him going. And on that last drive before halftime, guys and gals, and let me see. Do I have any other? Before we put this to bed? Let me see. Yes, I do have one more let's put a bow on this AFC side. Rich Eisen, all hail Patrick Mahomes. First quarterback ever to start 4 Super Bowls before turning 30. Third quarterback to start 4 Super Bowls in a 5-year span, joining Tom Brady and Jim Kelly. 14 Super Bowl wins behind only Brady and Joe Montana. 4th Super Bowl start, only Brady and Elway have more. That's just phenomenal. That's just phenomenal. And for someone like Rich to come out there and say that is completely awesome. And which one did I leave one of these out? Looks like I did. But you can hate, and let's before we get into the hate and all of that. Let's, now that my to further put a bow on it, I guess let's say, I kind of posed the question: are you more shocked at the performance of the Ravens or the performance of the Chiefs? Put it in the comments. Which one surprised you more? Which one surprised you more? For me, it has to be that Ravens offense. It has to be the Ravens offense. Now, granted, I guarantee there's going to be a lot of folks that are coming at me like, well, Turbo, that's what this Chiefs defense does. That's what this Chiefs defense does. The only problem is Lamar Jackson is 1 of 1. How do you practice against that? How do you prepare for that? Looks like the Chiefs did it, but to me, that's what separates that team. And in my opinion, it looked like they were trying to pass the ball to win that game. They were not trying to run it. And at no means were they down too far where they absolutely had to pass on every play. There were times when Jackson would hold the ball, scramble around a little bit, throw an incompletion. Hold the ball, scramble around, throw an incompletion. Where we've seen, and Brad, if you're still here in the chat, you can attest this. How many times did I tell you Lamar needs to take this game over? Lamar needs to win this game. And it's not, and when I say that, I'm not saying thread the needle for a pass. I'm saying tuck it and run it and get your ass in the end zone. That to me, that is what Lamar does. For all of you that are trying to say he needs to be a pocket passer, he needs to do that. No, Lamar needs to be Lamar. He did nothing that got him to this point that is going to win him, arguably, his second MVP. He did nothing. I mean, granted, he had over 250 yards passing. Cool. That's cool. But he needed to go over 100 yards to win that game. Oh, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. Goff just overthrew Laporta, which it was a ball that only Laporta would have been able to get, and it was just outside of his fingertips. That would have been one hell of a catch. One hell of a catch. But yeah, that's to me that's the biggest disappointment in that game. Mahomes did not play like a traditional Mahomes game. Granted, like we've stated before, his offensive weapons have changed. They're more, I mean, years previous, they wouldn't have run the ball that many times. But when you have someone like Pacheco, even though that Baltimore defense is geared up for it, their number one goal, stop Kelsey. Didn't do that. Number 2 goal, stop the running game. They barely did that. I mean, let's call it not a fail, but maybe a C- at that point. And for whatever reason, they didn't take the reins off Lamar. And that's the part I don't understand, 2K Crew. I don't get it. It's honestly like the offensive coordinator from the Bears the first part of the year switched out with the offensive coordinator at the Ravens. That's honestly to me what it looked like. You're trying to force someone that is you're taking away their best asset. And when you take away their best asset, they are not going to be nearly as successful. I'm sorry. And as long as they keep doing this to Lamar, they are going to fall short like they did today. And you could be saying, well, Turbo, they gave him this big ass contract. They want him to be around. I don't care. If I'm that team, I'm winning now. I'm winning now because you're not guaranteed to get back to this position next year. You're just not. We've seen Lamar have injury problems. He stayed healthy all year. So we know what that team does when he's not there. And now we know what this team does when he is there. So why? To me, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You still have not won a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. You have to open the playbook, take the reins off, say you are our franchise quarterback. We're riding on your shoulders. This whole team, this whole organization. That's why we gave you the big contract. That is why. That is what we need you to do, right here, right now. And he didn't do it. So for me, I know that the MVP is based on the regular season, but like last week, I'm still on the Christian McCaffrey for MVP, and especially after this game now, totally disappointed. Congrats to the Chiefs. Congrats to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, all the boys over there. You guys earned one hell of a victory. But like I said, I'm more upset with the Ravens. Well, 2K crew, let's jump into this Lions box score here. They're currently at commercial. They are driving. And let's see here. If you did place a bet and had a Christian McCaffrey touchdown, it was like minus 200. So that pretty much means it's pretty much bound to happen. And Deebo Samuel is back and healthy. 4 catches, 56 yards. Has had 2 carries for 4 yards. So we're seeing him. We're seeing the coaching staff there. Kind of the reason they gave for the kind of slow and inconsistent play last week was the fact that they can do so much more with Deebo, putting him in the backfield, splitting him out, interchanging him and McCaffrey. So now that they have their full complement of weapons or game plan, Goff's having a Jared Goff night, 15 to 24, 167 yards. Purdy 10 for 20, 136 yards and a pick. A very costly pick. Montgomery up to 78 yards. Gibbs has 46. St. Brown even has 2 yards rushing, and St. Brown has 73 yards on 5 catches. Laporte has 6 catches for 67 yards. And getting back to my argument here, Christian McCaffrey, 3 catches, 38 yards. And the looks like the 49ers have the ball about the 28-yard line. And as noted, gets the ball to Deebo, and he's going. So for those of you that don't think he's a difference maker, yeah, prove me wrong. Now, one thing that I did want to kind of ask you, 2K crew, is, and what we've seen with this Lions resurgence is the fact that there's a lot more fans, and there's a big kind of discrepancy, I guess you could call it, amongst Lions fans. Oh, these are bandwagon fans. Could be, but who cares? These could be Lions fans that have been laying in the wings for the last 30 years because they didn't want everyone to know that they were a fan of a team that sucked. So for those of you that are Lions fans, where do you see them going in the draft? I mean, obviously they're going to have a late draft pick here. I'm saying that just based on the position they're in right now. I don't think they have any more traded first round picks from the Stafford Goff trade. I could be wrong. I think those were those were last year's. And man, oh man, have they made those draft picks count? And for those of you that were just totally trashing this Lions draft, I think you better take a walk back. Take a walk back and see exactly who they drafted when, the production they got out of them. And, oh shit, nice catch. Holy shit. That was insane. An insane catch by Brandon Ayuk. Let's see if it holds up. There is a flag. And he's celebrating like it's a touchdown, but I don't think it's a touchdown. But man, that was one hell of a catch. think it's going to be offensive pass interference. Lions DB gets hit in the face with it. Oh, maybe it is a touchdown. No one touched him after he caught it. I don't know. That might be down. It might be a touchdown. I don't know. This is the only part that sucks doing these watch alongs is not having sound. Not having sound. For other ones, I might try to get one ear for the show, one ear for the game, so we can kind of keep up on it. But man, that was regardless of where they spot this ball, that is one hell of a catch. And this is to kind of answer the question that I posed. This Lions team is going to need to address this secondary. That's their only weakness. Yeah, it's down. He touched him. It's still a huge play. Fantastic catch. We got 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 24-10. Yep. Feed McCaffrey. Oh, shit. McCaffrey ran into a big-ass wall there. Big-ass wall. Yeah, this team is just the secondary. The secondary is what's killing them. Maybe a full year with CJ will be will be the difference maker. I doubt it. Will it help? Yes, absolutely, it'll help. But man, you would have to think. And now this is one of the main questions I did want to bring up to you, 2K crew, is we've all seen Detroit not be the best destination for free agents. I have a feeling that's going to change. Starting this offseason, I think you're going to get a lot of players that will be like, MCDC, I want to play for him. I want to get involved in this. I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of history, restoring Detroit, restoring the roar, I guess you could say, and just be a part of that movement. And it's a good movement because they're winning. They're winning, regardless if they win this game or not. I think they start to become a more desirable free agent. There's Ayuk in the end zone. And honestly, with that catch, you got to break him off. He did 99% of the work to get you down there. Let's just cash it in. But yeah, this even though the team on both sides very young. But yeah, this secondary needs to be addressed, whether it's the draft or in free agency. I'm not 100% sure where the Lions are salary cap wise, but I would have to think that they got to be sitting. They got to be sitting in a place where they can make some moves, they can make some noise, and come back bigger and better next year. Bigger and better. And I'm not saying that to disregard what they're doing right now, but it's part of what we do here on the show, and it's going to be something that all of these shows are going to be doing. So why not get out ahead of it? I know no one's going to give us credit for starting the conversation, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys and gals think. Where should they go with their draft picks? How should they address? And I'm not the biggest Lions fan to tell you whose contract is expiring. I do honestly believe one thing they have to do is extend Goff. I mean, it just feels right. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, like it has to happen. It has to happen. And if it doesn't, I'll be completely shocked. Who knows with the draft of Hendon Hooker last year, how he's progressing, how healthy he is, whether or not you would make him trade bait if you are going to extend Goff, or keep him around because I believe he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. I mean, his hit to the salary cap is not big. So do you keep him around because he knows the system? Knock on wood. I mean, we've seen Goff be pretty healthy during his stay here in Detroit. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team evolves. Yes, they've gotten this far. Did anyone besides, I guarantee 95% of the Lions fans, when the season started, did not have them going this far. And I'm using that as a very loose a very loose approximation, but maybe close to 98, because there's always going to be some that are like, yep, Lions win the Super Bowl this year. Lions winning the Super Bowl this year. Don't you worry. Mark it. You know, I'm saving up for tickets to Vegas. This is going to be awesome. But let's be honest. Before the season, not a whole lot of you had this team going this far, which in my opinion is what makes it so awesome. Yes, it's awesome that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again. And I know that's going to become a narrative. Again. You know, we just got through the whole Tom Brady bullshit. Now Patrick Mahomes has to pick it up, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be doing this to us for the next 15 years. Awesome. Yeah, this is super cool. And one thing I've learned, 2K crew, is that I was a Brady hater for many, many years. Even going back to Kobe Bryant, I was a hater his whole career, just because they were trying to compare him constantly with Michael Jordan. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, always will be, always have. But one thing that I learned through that, and yes, I knew it sucks that it took him passing away for me to realize, like, man, his whole career I hated on him instead of just appreciating how good that he actually was. And it took probably until 3 or 4 years left in Brady's career where I'm like, you know what? Yep, this guy is doing stuff that no one else has done. It's time for me to take a step back and just appreciate what this man does and how he does it. And we could have a very massive turn. Yep. Oh, man, Lions fans. Oh, shit. First play of the drive, fumble recovered by the 49ers. Oh, shit. This could change everything, ladies and gentlemen. This could change everything. Kind of a botched handoff to start off with. Looks like Goff and Gibbs were just a little bit too close to each other. And Gibbs never really had a good handle on the ball. Yep, it was a obvious fumble. Niners jump right on it. With extremely good field position. This is very disheartening. Let's see if the Lions defense can at least hold them to a field goal, keep this lead, and hopefully Gibbs comes back and just rips off a gigantic run to kind of make up for that fumble. That would be completely awesome. Yeah, the Niners take over on the 26-yard line. And is that Kittle? Yeah, I believe that's Kittle's first catch of the game. Been kind of quiet after a huge game last week. And it really would be nice for my bet if he would actually, Purdy would throw him the ball more often. That would be awesome. Let's check it here. Let's get an update. Yes, that was George Kittle's first catch for -1 yards. He's only had 2 targets. Kyle Juszczyk has more yards than he does. Not taking anything away from Kyle Juszczyk or his wife, who makes those fantastic jackets and stuff like that for the players. Oh, look at Purdy. Uh-oh. Runs into Debo. Goes down at the 4-yard line. What a tuck and run by Purdy. And since we're on the subject, why do so many people hate on Purdy? I don't get it. At all. Everyone says he's a system quarterback. Everyone's a system quarterback. Everybody is. I think because he was drafted last, that most people are like, this guy should be shitty. And this is his second year in the league, folks. And I honestly think if he wouldn't have got hurt, last year, that this Niners team beats the Eagles, and who knows what happens from there. That one injury, I mean, let's be honest. The 49ers could not throw a forward pass last year in the NFC title game. Could not throw a pass. And now we're seeing a very healthy Brock Purdy and kind of the difference that it's making. And it is 2nd and goal. See if these big boys up front can get a stop here. Like I said, and you never know with Kyle Shanahan. If this goes to 4th down, you never know if he does. And there's your you took McCaffrey for 2 total touchdowns, you are a happy better. And with that, it was still probably only like plus 150. Plus 150 is a better. I honestly stay away from him in anytime touchdown scores because, yes, it hits quite frequently, but when it's that kind of expected, when it doesn't hit, it just kills your parlay. Kills your parlay. So Moody here to tie the game up here, ladies and gentlemen. He's missed a field goal already. Let's see if he puts it through. Pride of Michigan here on the line. It's up and it's good. Splits the uprights. We have a tie ball game here in the third, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of had a feeling this 49ers team was not just going to lay down and just take it. So, yeah, it's coming down to the wire. I mean, granted, we have a whole quarter of football left. I totally get that. Totally get that. Speaking of betting, I really don't think it's going to matter who wins this game. I still think that I have a feeling the line's going to open up 2.5. Chiefs favored 2.5, maybe 3.5, somewhere in there. Just because, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what. Today, I learned a very, very big lesson once it comes to betting. Learned a very big lesson. And kind of the Tom Brady, kind of the Bill Belichick, kind of the, you can even throw Nick Saban in there. Anytime those guys are getting points, you always ride with them. Always ride with them because, man, they always seem, especially when you're giving them points. It doesn't happen often that Patrick Mahomes gets points. And I fell for it. I did a Lions plus 7.5 and Ravens minus 3.5 parlay. Obviously didn't hit, but yeah. I know this game is far from over, but that 7.5 is huge. If you weren't able to get it at 7.5, you should have got the bet in Friday. Yeah. Friday morning, it was 7.5. I know it might have closed at 7, which still, I don't claim to be an expert sports bettor or a bookie or line maker, but man, when 70% of the money is on one team, usually they bring the line down a little bit to kind of help encourage money on the other side, and they went the other way. I honestly thought at 70% of the public money on the Lions, that 7 would have come down to 5.5. Plus 7 to plus 5.5, but it went from plus 7 to plus 7.5. So it's like you're encouraging more money to go on the Lions, because for those that took the 7, why not double down with 7.5? I just didn't get it. But maybe that's why I haven't hit the bet in a few weeks. So who knows? Moody's kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. Lions will take over. Can't do much worse than starting the drive the last way they did. Each side now has a turnover. Let's see how they react to this. They're 1st and 10 from the 25. And for some reason, my live feed here goes to a Geico commercial. There we go. Now we're back, I guess. Now we're back. So yeah, 24-24, about 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Definitely some more action in this game as compared to the last game, just because even though that 49ers defense is very, very good, they've been very, very open to the run, which we've seen the Lions take advantage of multiple times here in the first three quarters. And I think what a shot. What a shot. Did Laporta hang on to that? No, he did not. Man, that sucks. That sucks. You get a big hit like that, and you think they'd give you the catch anyway. But, man, great defense by the 49ers. Great defense. But yeah, this as good of a pass rush as this 49ers team is or has, they are susceptible to the run, which plays right into Detroit's hands because they have that great offensive line, great running backs, and we've seen some of the receivers get some carries as well. But I would expect to see Amon-Ra St. Brown here being looked at here on this drive in particular, just to get them back going, get that offense going. Because he is the go-to. He is their, everyone says that the tight end is the kind of the comfort blanket with quarterbacks, but which is true. Laporta is amazing at that, but anytime a big play needs to be had, anytime a first down needs to be had, you have to look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I'm shocked that they didn't there on third down. Because obviously the momentum is completely with San Francisco right now. Completely with San Francisco. Holy punt. Jeez, oh Pete. Nope, it's a touchback. So close. Yep, it is a touchback. Man, that was close. Full buddy Lucas could have kept his feet in or at least tossed it out before. But yeah, that was a hell of a punt. Hell of a punt here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, 2K crew, I think I'm going to bid you adieu. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their game here. I'm going to head out and so I can catch the fourth quarter at home with the missus and the kids. So we will see each and every one of you back here again next week. We will be having our Super Bowl preview, Super Bowl breakdown, and I don't know if the following week if we'll try to do something on Saturday leading up to the Super Bowl, but I have a feeling we will be off Super Bowl Sunday just so we can enjoy it. What would really be nice, this is something that I wanted to talk about right out the get and forgot. Man, wouldn't it be nice if we had somewhere here local that we could do like a live stream watch party like together? That'd be pretty dope. Excuse me, that would be pretty awesome. So yeah, we could belly up or grab a table somewhere, have a couple cameras, and yeah, just have some fun with you guys and gals and whoever else is there, and have a few beers, maybe some appetizers, if you will. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So for those of you that are local, let's open something like that. Let's get it going. We will be back like I said, next week. We'll have a brand new top 5. So if you guys and gals have any suggestions for next week's top 5, let me know. Drop it here in the comments. And for those of you that are still watching, thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you next week. And as always, Jim Rome, we're coming for you.